450 to 525. That's where you ended?
Correct.
$75,000.
For spending $5,000 that they didn't even spend.
So
Compass spent it.
Hey guys, Helen Hernandez Archer here with Lux Living Properties in Atlanta, and today we're going to be talking about Compass Concierge. Have you heard about Compass Concierge? If you have not, this is an amazing program that Compass is exclusive to Compass, and today we have Joseph Elkourie, and I butchered your name right there.
Nope, that's perfect.
And he is an agent with Compass who has used this service many times, and I wanted to have him today here so he can actually speak to the amazing things about the program and the experience for his clients, especially the money that they have received from using it.
That's right, Helen. Thank you for having me here today. So for those of you that don't know me, I've been in real estate as a realtor for 10 years now. Compass is my third broker that I've been with.
Okay.
And so the differences are quite vast, but one of them is the use of concierge. So what concierge is Compass will come in and provide the funds through a loan with no % interest rates, no fees, completely free to our clients only. Now, what it does is it takes the equity that's in the home, providing there is enough, and we utilize that with a soft credit pool, not a hard credit pool. And then we can lend up to 5% of the value of the home with a cap of $75,000, okay? So we could take these funds and we can do anything we want. We can stage a home, we can paint a home, we can renovate it, we can do new countertops, we can finish basements. In fact, the last time I used this was a ranch in Sandy Springs. Originally, we were gonna list the home for $450,000. That's the only thing the market would bear for that property. Now, the interesting thing about this home, when I toured it, was they had renovated the main level, done a wonderful job. There was a little more walls than I would like, so I knew that we were gonna have some feedback where the floor plan maybe wasn't perfect. However, the basement, they had a 4th bathroom in the home. It was finished and it was beautiful. There was marble everywhere. There was a bedroom down there. It was also beautiful, needed to be painted though. But the odd part was it had an old rickety staircase that came down, and then an unfinished room in which you had to walk through to get to the bedroom and the bathroom. So I thought to myself, okay, we're gonna have a problem with an appraiser buying into the square footage down here.
Why is that?
So if you can't utilize the home in a manner that you would, whereas you'd walk through an uncooled or an unheated portion to get to somewhere else, it's really an ancillary room and not so much part of the floor plan.
That's right.
Okay, so we really needed to figure out a way to combine those two rooms.
And maximize it.
Absolutely. So in this case, I pitched them on Compass Concierge. We spent $5,000 finishing the stairway properly and finishing this one room. Now this room turned into a kid's playroom for them. They told me they wish they'd done that years earlier because it was so useful. It actually allowed me to take all the kids' toys from upstairs, from cluttering it up, and put it downstairs, which was another added bonus. However, the nice part was we finished that space. Now I could include the finished portion of the basement, the bedroom, and the bathroom, all into my square footage and all into my listing. We ended up listing the property for $500,000, and we went over asking price to $500,000 to $25,000. So we spent $5,000, raised our initial price by $50,000, and then still got over that asking price. My clients were enormously happy. They paid no interest, they paid no percentage points on upfront, and they paid it all back at closing.
Wow. Okay, so let's take it in pieces because that's unbelievable. So you're telling me that if you wouldn't have used concierge, your choices were your seller pays for that money out of pocket, but they were buying something, so they probably needed the cash. So they were allowed to use money from their equity. But if they wouldn't have put the money in, that means that they would have listed the home at $450.
Correct.
And chances are we probably would have gotten $450 or less because, or you think that they would have gotten more?
I think they still would have gotten, so we would have listed for $450. And I think that there's a world that we could have gotten the asking price of $450. However, it would have needed somebody that would come in and say, I can finish this space as a buyer to validate the space down here.
Okay.
Instead, we validated it for them, which increased our buyer pool tremendously. And as we all know, if we have more potential buyers for a property, our price goes much higher.
That's right.
The more people we alienate from a property, all of a sudden that gives us less potential offers and lower value.
Right, because a lot of buyers, especially in this market, they're paying top dollar. They want things already kind of move in, and at least they just need to paint. Not really big ticket items where they have to do floors or stairs or walls or any of that. They just want something that is moving ready, and they could probably put their touches to it, right?
Yeah. So
now, $450 to $525, that's where you ended?
correct.
$75,000.
For spending $5 that they didn't even spend.
So
Compass
came-
spent it.
Right, because there's no fees, no interest, no hard credit pool,
Correct. Soft credit pool. only.
soft credit pool, and all from the equity.
Correct. And it's paid back at closing, so they don't even have to cut a check anywhere. Comes off the settlement
Okay.
statement.
Well, there you have it. What else? What other things can you do with that concierge money?
So the big thing we do a lot with it is staging. So something I talk to people about a lot, especially in the condo market or the townhome market. When you're in the condo market and you're looking for 2-bedroom condos, when they're vacant, online they all look the same. The challenge is, how do we make ours stand out from the others? Because at the end of the day, they're another unit. Or if we have a home that maybe doesn't have the right natural light in it, or the floor plan's a little odd and it's vacant, we need to show somebody how to live here, because most buyers can't quite see it without it there. So what happens is, when you get buyers calling on listings, normally they're listings that are very well decorated, very well photographed, and a lot of natural light.
That's right.
Okay, so the challenge that I find is, how do I get a seller to pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to stage a property and show them the value of this? Well, in some cases they'll have to learn the hard way, to where I listed a condo last year, vacant, didn't sell. I finally told them, we really need to list it again, but this time stage it. They finally did it, we did, and we sold it for over asking price again. Okay, now the challenge is, you've got to have that money up front. We can do it with concierge, and they never pay for it until we close. And it comes off the settlement statement. So it's just getting the approval up front to trust in us to sell the home. So we use concierge a lot for staging and painting as well.
And do you need to use specific contractors that Compass gives?
You don't. So the nice part about it is, they basically send you a debit card and it's backed by cash. So you can withdraw cash to pay certain contractors, because a lot of contractors won't work for anything other than checks or cash. Okay, and so you can simply take that card and you can do it. Now, I did have somebody use concierge one time to facilitate their transition from one home to the next. So they moved out of the home, they moved into their new home, and they paid the movers. They paid the movers. They paid for all the expenses to move, because they were out of money, because they had gotten the house fixed up for us to sell. And so you're able to use it for anything you'd want to use it for.
So mover, staging, I've heard that even pet sitting fees.
Correct.
Storage.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Had somebody actually use it, this person was selling to rent month by month, and then they were going to move to the West Coast. So they actually paid their rent using concierge.
What? I didn't know
Now,
that
it's all
part.
backed by the equity in your home.
Right.
So Compass doesn't quite regulate what you spend it on, because they know that they're going to be able to get it when they sell the home. Now, the only caveat to concierge is that you do have to list the home for sale, and you do have to sell the home within a year. So if you don't do that, you will have to repay the loan. So it's not free money forever.
Right.
It's free money for a year.
For a year. Okay.
So there is timelines with it.
Wow. What questions did I not ask about this amazing program? I want to sell it to everybody and put everybody in concierge. There's no minimum, but the maximum would be up to $70,000.
So it's 5% of the value of the home, or $75,000, whichever is less.
Okay.
So actually, my business partner Chris is going to use it on a listing coming up. He's going to list the house at $500,000, So he's going to be doing 5% of that at $40,000 because that's less than the 75. So he's got a $40,000 budget that he's going to do. And we're going to see the property in a couple days to figure out what all needs to be done.
Well, you need to tell me how that goes, because this is an amazing program and we all need to be using it, especially now to capitalize on the sale of their home. I do know from what I've researched and all of our brokers have told us that most of the homes that sold, actually all the homes that sold last year that used concierge, sold for 7 to 10% above the ones that didn't.
Believe it.
So it is, if you're considering something like this, give us a call, but definitely I strongly suggest that we start really using this because nobody else has this program. I mean, that's awesome. All right.
I think the most common uses for it are going to be homes with kids and pets. You live hard in your home. So I think the most common thing is going to be as a refresher for listing. That's the most common thing that we do. But to my earlier point, we have done full-blown renovations.
Wow, there's no limit in that respect of what can be done. Well, there you have it. Helen Hernandez Archer here with Lux Living Properties at Compass. Thank you for joining us today. Take action. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And make sure you press the button for notifications so you can see whenever we post a new video.